Hello,
Guys.
hello.
Good morning and happy Monday. If you guys are watching this on the replay, welcome wherever you are joining us from. And if you are hopping on live, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is the fourth day that we are jumping on to go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So good morning,
Hello,
YouTube.
YouTube. Hello, Facebook.
Good morning, Facebook.
What's up,
Hi,
Alicia?
Alicia.
We love
How
you.
are you?
Tabitha, yes.
Nice to see you guys. And today we're talking about prosperity, and we're talking about what is really needing to be looked at behind the veil of that, right? And so this is a perfect live if you are looking to shift some perspective around your prosperity, around your finances, abundance, or if you're an entrepreneur. So if you guys know an entrepreneur or you are an entrepreneur, share this video, tag your entrepreneur friends, or those that are wanting to spread out into doing that, right? Venturing into understanding the world of prosperity and yourself and your belief systems, changing around our self-expression and how we show up for this world. So this is a really, really great topic and something that Nicole and I love to discuss, because some of you guys do know and some of you guys do not know that Nicole and I do quite a bit of work with you guys as conscious entrepreneurs who want to really take your business to the next level of service as well as balance and prosperity, why that's important. So we can actually also dialogue a little bit today about why it's actually important that you do have the access that you want to the prosperity that you want, which is something that's actually quite challenging for a lot of people to heal and integrate around. So I'm going to tell you, for those of you guys that are jumping on and you're brand new, I'm Dove.
I'm Nicole.
And we're consciousness mentors and we're motivational speakers. And that came to mind to say in this moment because consciousness mentors, what does that mean? It means that we need to shift consciousness in the consciousness that is not serving you to the utmost of your desired ability, to the outcomes that you want, that is not aligned with your being fluid, masterful, and self-expressed. And so the thing is that around abundance, we have a lot of thought forms. We've got a lot of ideas, conditionings that really keep us limited. They keep us disempowered. And it is a tough subject for some of you guys. So I'm going to invite you to stay open and to really allow some of these paradigms to break down for you. Because if you are a conscious-based individual and there is a desire for you to serve in some manner or capacity through your self-expression in this world, allowing yourself to do that at your utmost ability is also allowing in not just abundance, a flow of energy in your life, but also of prosperity, right? And really seeing the difference and releasing the story and guidelines. So one of the things that Nicole and I have come to understand, especially as we run our Inner Circle, which is an elite program for entrepreneurs that we bring through. We not only focus on your logistical marketing plan strategies and so on, and things that need to change for you to get exposure, but also, and very importantly, which is different from a lot of work, really looking at what's going on inside with you. And so we're on the heels right now of 3 awesome lives that we engaged with you guys. Friday, we talk about manifestation. Right, we announced to you guys our Mind and Manifestation Intensive, which if you guys haven't grabbed, you want to use the link to grab it, create that next step of change.
Yes.
We talked about that, how we manifest so much from our mind, right? And then on Saturday, we talked about the importance of looking at the core of what's going on in a situation. Yesterday, we had our holiday prayer in circle. So if you guys need to catch up with these videos, why am I saying this? I'm taking you through, there's a theme here, right? So we do manifest with our mind. We are consciously creating what do we need to understand about the gaps in our manifestation. Then we talk about the next piece, which is that we need to look at core. When we go look at core, we understand what we're manifesting from. We're manifesting from wound, we're manifesting from story, we're manifesting from ego. What is happening from subconscious, okay? And then at core is also belief systems, stories and ideas. And yesterday in our prayer circle, we talked a lot about ancestry, family, what happens, the weight we hold, the grief we hold. All of these things, guess what, are tied in. So when we say in order to have the key to prosperity, and the key to prosperity being looking behind the veil. Behind the veil is also the name of our inner circle. Why do I talk about looking behind the veil? Because you can have the best game plan, the most awesome business idea, the most awesome desire to serve, but there can be breakdowns under the hood, which means your belief systems can be filled with, I don't deserve. Money is bad. Nobody cares to hear me. I can't ask for that. I don't believe in my own offers. I don't believe in my own service. I think that no one likes me. I am scared to be abandoned. These things, right? And down to I'm dealing with addiction. My spouse is cheating on me. These are the types of things that are not looked at within a business, within a structure, with you as an entrepreneur, all of these things are going to affect you. And that is what is behind the veil of what's going on. And so if everything, right, following through the lives that we did this weekend, if everything is a projecting out of what you have been through, what you are going through, then we look at finances and as success in certain areas as symptomatic.
Yes.
So we talked on Saturday about symptoms being negative symptoms such as, struggling with particular behavior, anxiety, lying, addiction, so on and so forth, right? Whatever symptomatically comes up in your life. But guess what? Symptoms can also be positive. So the symptom of your aligned work and your internal analysis is flow of energy. Money is flow of energy.
Ooh.
You can take an inventory. And so again, if you take, and so I'm going to invite you guys to definitely go back and check out the video we talked about on, in order to create real transformation, you want to go to the root causes, right? And so that video that we did on Saturday, that is key to the foundation of this conversation. Because if we look at the root cause of something, where that idea and structure is happening, that concept of I'm good, bad, unworthy, worthy, this is good, this is bad, that's negative behavior. When we look at those things and can assess them, if they align or don't align with our end goal, when we have changed those belief systems or causes or whatever's going on with our self-worth, it allows our positive symptoms to start to express, which is the flow in those areas, okay? So this is an amazing way to start to create unique and massive shift around what is going on for you. And being an entrepreneur, if you guys are on right now and you're an entrepreneur, please share this with your friends, tag another entrepreneur. If you're not an entrepreneur and you think this will serve somebody, but even just anybody interested in shifting prosperity, right? But when we're looking at these things, really having this understanding that you are, especially as an entrepreneur, you are the expression of your business, and it is directly connected to you.
Yes.
So you don't get to opt out by being not in a well place and ignoring yourself and ignoring your beliefs and ignoring the parts of self that need that breakthrough and need that tending to. If we ignore them, it will deconstruct everything. Even with the best team and the best, marketing and the best PR and the best everything, if we are inside saying, I don't want that client, I don't want that opportunity, I'm not really ready, I'm not really worthy,
goodness.
I'm not really good enough.
Oh, I love it. I love you guys so much. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to you guys. Oh, I love what Dove is talking about. This has been, breaking through into understanding that I, as a being, or really understanding who I am as a being, is naturally my natural state, Dove's natural state. Your natural state is abundant, prosperous, it is infinite love, it is, and we're talking about frequency, we've been talking about the law of attraction, magnetism, the law of love, allowing yourself, when we are fully in that energy, in the expression of knowing that we are prosperous, we will attract prosperity, we will bring in funds, we will bring in emotional, growth, all of those things. And so the two things that are important is to understand that you're this prosperous being, which to get to this place, we have to know the blocks that we have in our lives to getting to that prosperous place. And for many of us, we've been conditioned through our lineage, our ancestry, through society, through wounding, the things that we went through, with then having to try to create survival techniques, which we talked about. And so coming back to this place of like, who am I? That question, I love it. When I was younger and people used to be like, who are you? And I'd be like, well, I'm a soccer player. I'm Nicole. I didn't know how to say who I was. And then I realized throughout my life that my values were a deep part about who I am. And the things that we value, right? Those parts of us that really mean something that you stand for, even if you're not standing that tall right now in them, they are in there. There are parts of you in there, like pulling out these values of like, oh my God, I'm a giving person, I'm a loving person, I have a big heart, and all of that, right? Being able to stand in that and have integrity in that. And there are things in our life that block us from that space. And so what I want to say to you is the biggest piece of me finding prosperity was learning how to express myself, and this is my purpose in life, more so than anything else, express myself fully. What does that mean? right? Express those values that I just said. But not just the good, expressing my fears, expressing my shadows, expressing the things that hurt me, expressing those parts of me that were hidden, expressing the pain, expressing all of me. And it was so scary in the beginning to be able to do that. But I know from working with people, and I know in my own life, that the things that I hide, they have a vibration just as much as all that good has vibration. And I don't care, whatever's under that carpet is vibrating. And we will attract and we will bring in those things. And so it's very important that we accept those things that are in the basement, that are under the carpet, those things that we don't want to look at because we don't want to feel. We are so afraid of feeling. Right? I think the one thing I've noticed with all entrepreneurs that I worked with, they are so afraid of failure, feeling anything that doesn't feel good because we're taught that, right? But going through a process of finding that prosperity within to be able to create it without, we have to walk through some things, but we don't do it alone. We do it together and it's beautiful. And so this self-expression coming to this space, and when I say it, I feel like your whole being goes, yes, yes, yes. I want to be able to be me, because here's the deal. When I show up in front of you as being just Nicole, when I show up, I love when people are like, you're so authentic and you're so vulnerable. Because I do everything in my power to be that, because for me to go into that energy, guess what happens? It starts to pull that from you. Right? When I watch leaders that just make my heart explode, they start pulling it out of me. They pull my values out of me. They pull these things that I'm just like, oh, I want to be me. I want to be me. And so being able to express you, not me expressing Dove or somebody else, but me being able to express all of Nicole, even those pieces that I think are weird, right? And sometimes people leave comments about how weird I am, right? And I stand in it and I'm like, yeah, I'm weird, yo. And that's okay. And some of you have things that you do that you're ashamed of, and they may just be a part of you. And I'm here to tell you that that's okay. Right? I see you. It's okay. You know, we are very hard on each other because we are hard on ourselves.
Yes.
And this is a place where we're going through this process of, it's okay not to be hard on yourself, and it's okay to express yourself. And that frequency, so here's the deal. When we can express all pieces of self, when we can grieve, we can be joyful, when we can share all this, what happens is we start to connect in a way with ourselves, because that's one of the most important unions in your life, right? We have a union with higher self and creator, but when you are in like this plane of existence on earth, it is important to be back in union with yourself.
Yes.
And the best way to come into union with self and to balance those pieces are to be able to start to express all of you.
Oh, I love what Nicole said. She said so many good things. So, thinking about this, right? So what might be affecting your prosperity? What might be affecting your business? What might be affecting your relationship to abundance might not be what you think. Right? It might not be what we're taught, that we have to hustle more hours, that it might not be that you don't have that degree. It might not be any of those things that you think, but it might be that you grew up experiencing a lot of lack, and it is what your brain is trained to perceive. It might be that you don't find yourself to be valuable enough. It might be that you have belief systems that are ingrained in you that believe things that are counter to the possibility to experience what you want. Okay, and I want to break that piece down. So what do I mean by having belief systems that are counter to the possibility of having what we want? I'm going to give you a really obvious one, right? Because I love this subject, and we talk about this subject in a way in this world where it's like, it's so dirty, don't talk about it, right? Talking about money and prosperity, we've felt that there's so much dirtiness about it, but the thing is, guys, if we don't reclaim the relationship with that, then what we're doing is just handing it over to those that do have a dirty relationship with it, right? And so it's about reclaiming that piece and understanding it just as a flow and symptom of energy, and allowing you to have a new relationship with it and allowing you to use it for the benefits that you want. So here's an example of a thought that is not going to be aligned with an outcome that you might want. So you might be sitting there and saying, I really want to generate more income for myself. I want to get out of lack and limitation. There's vitamins that I want to provide myself or my animals. I'd like a new platform to express myself, like whatever it is. Or if you're just saying to yourself that there's something that you want to experience, either way, it doesn't matter. There shouldn't be judgment, because it's your self-expression in this lifetime, right? So whatever it is that you're feeling you'd like expansion with, and no matter how severe your situation is. So here's an example that'll keep you from that end goal of, I want to change the prosperity dynamic in my life. Money is evil. So if that's the thought form that you are holding, money is evil. And I know some of you are going to want to really like run this one home into all of the reasons why that's your truth and why it is a truth. And you can do that. Okay, so here's the thing. If you want to defend the thought form that's sabotaging the outcome you want, then that's where you are in the process, and that's okay. But if you're looking at the outcome you want and you say, well, I don't actually want to be stuck in lack without opportunity to move myself into a different arena and to serve the world and to talk to them the way I want, and whatever it is that you want to do here, then you have to be in that uncomfortable place of what our work is designed to do, right? As we are shifting your consciousness into, okay, now I'm in the yucky. That's cool. I'm in the yucky. Why do I believe that money is evil? Maybe I have had really negative experiences. Maybe I've had trauma. Maybe I've had examples of what it looked like to bring out negativity in people. Maybe I've just adopted it because it's a collective belief, okay? Whatever it is, the story took root, and that story is stopping you from an outcome you want. And that one is fairly obvious. Although I have to say that I've talked to many people that didn't get the correlation between the fact that they believed that and then they were wondering why they weren't able to generate a change in their income, or they weren't able to get clients to serve, or they weren't able to shift things. So we need to take inventory. And if you guys want to share, if you want to expose some of your beliefs here, you can write in the comments, like some of the beliefs that you know are blocking you from end goal, right? Or blocking you from being in flow state.
Yes.
Because here's the thing that I want to tell you. And it's interesting because I didn't necessarily know that Spirit was going to ask us to expose some of these things. But I really want you guys to know that Nicole and I's work is ultimately designed, all of the work from our inner circle to our certification to our one-on-one and to all of our products is all designed for you to come into deeper and deeper self-empowerment. Nothing is about going into fear, limitation, lack, being dependent on anything. It is about you being more and more and more in your own power. And so a big lie that we experienced was that in order to be spiritual, or in order to be connected, or in order to be all of these things, or even to be like a good mom, right? Whatever the thought form is, we couldn't also have abundance. We couldn't also have flow around finances. And I'm here to tell you that if you use your logic and step out of your pain body and step out of your emotional experience about it, what I'm really saying is we were lied to so that we can be controlled more. Because if we hand over a whole piece of self-expressed power and an ability to create opportunity and to serve people, whether you want to take that platform and fly out to a different country and create potable water, or you want to, whatever it is that you want to do, it is time for those that are heart-centered, like all of you guys, to reclaim this peace and to have the ability to step into that. What comes with that? A lot of pain, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. But I want to show you that is an illusion. That is a lie that we were given, that we can't feel and we shouldn't feel prosperity, and that we shouldn't have access to it. So going back to that lie and that thought form of like, okay, so all money is evil. So we'll break this down. I'm going to give you guys a lot of service. Like people pay us to coach on some of these things, So I'm really just giving you guys a lot, and then I'm going to give you steps to take, right? I'm going to give you next steps, because I think that you guys, if you are feeling in a place where there is some stuck, the number one thing you also want to do is take action. And here's the funny thing, catch 22 when we feel prosperity lack. I don't want to invest because I feel like I'm in lack. But if I don't invest and break that lack, then I'm stuck. And so you get into this catch 22. There has to be a new action or behavior to break that cycle. Yes. I'm really firm about that. I can tell you that we'll eventually have some of our past clients on here to talk to you guys. I have had countless clients say the moment that I invested with you guys, or the moment that I invested on that program, or the moment I invested with somebody else around something that was really important, I broke my cycle of story that I was stuck here and therefore I couldn't. Because what has to happen is that you have to have a new relationship with that. So I'm going to give you guys a lot today. Like I'm really breaking down some major things. So first and foremost, Why is it not true that money is evil? Well, because it's actually just a flow of energy, which means that
Yes.
it's neutral and it comes as movement, which means that you are in flow as opposed to block. So if it
Yes.
is blocked, it means there's an internal block. It's a symptom letting you know there's something deeper going on with you, right? And so that's a really cool thing. We can use it to gauge what's going on with us, just like we can constantly take note from the universe.
It is.
Yeah, here's
Oh.
the other thing. So we've got, we feel like there are people that house a lot of finances that don't do good for our world. And so we feel frustrated. But then I'd like to invite you that maybe it's even more of a reason for you to become prosperous. Because if you've got beautiful intentions, then I invite you to claim part of that pie, that reality, so that you can serve from that space. And that's really, really important for you guys to start to realize that you want to re-empower yourself into those realities. And as we talked about, everything is about what's going on behind the veil.
Yes.
That's why it matters what is going on in here. Here's the other secret thing that I want to tell you guys, and then I'm going to let Nicole talk because I know she wants to.
Oh, yes.
Is that I have had people explain to me that they have a goal. They'll say, like, I would like to reach a goal of X amount of dollars per month. Let's make an arbitrary number that means nothing to anybody so that there doesn't have to be a trigger distraction. I want to make $20 a month, okay? And I'm giving that example so that there isn't story about what is a lot and what isn't a lot. I want to make $20 a month. And then that person is poised with the opportunity to invest $20 into themselves or their business, or to move from from lack to prosperity. At that point, the person says, and this is a real scenario that I've had with somebody, and it was really, really beautiful. I'm just changing the numbers. They said to me, well, that $20 feels like too big of an investment. Okay, lean in. The $20 feels like too big of an investment, but that's the amount that the person wants to receive. I'm going to translate this. That means that if that $20 feels intangible to put out, what you're saying to your mind and the universe is it's intangible to receive.
Yes.
You've made that $20
Yes.
outside of your realm of ability to receive because you've decided that it is a number that it also surpasses your ability to gather and reinvest into yourself. If you get this piece that I'm telling you, you are having a breakthrough. You are having a release around something that is really, really important. And if you feel like it's still scary and it's a big leap for you to do that, when you do it, what'll happen is you'll start to break down your behavioral patterns around it. So it's something you would have never done. Remember, we said over the weekend, the same mind that gets you into something is not the mind that gets you out. So your mind has conditioned you. That $20 is too much. That means you take a leap and you say, no, I have a new relationship to that $20. And I will tell you, there is a psychology around prosperity. And that psychology is very deep. And I am coming to that psychology right now in a lot of ways.
Yes.
And the really cool thing about this is that these concepts also apply to many, many other areas of our life. So if you're sitting with this space and you're moving through these pieces, know that it is allowing you to break through a heck of a lot of stuff.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. My whole insides are like, I need to say something. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Dove. It was interesting, right? When I was thinking about how money and the exchange of money for, a service is love. And somebody wrote, money is love. And I'm like, yes, it is, right? There are different ways that we have exchanges, right? In friendships, we give, we receive. That is love. It's a circuitry love where we give and we get it back. That's the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of love, the law of magnetism. It is like what you put out, you're going to get back in, right? What's going on inside is going to be without. So we're in that flow, and money is just that flow.
Yes.
And so I remember growing up, because some of you said that you were, that you were poor, and I remember only witnessing certain things. So this is what I witnessed. I witnessed that, my parents would have to work like 3 jobs to make, to make enough, and then we went to like middle class where we had some nice things. And not only did I see that you had to kill yourself to make money, but then I saw like, I'm going to hold on to it, which is still lack, holding on to it. And then it was like, it was never enough. It never felt enough to my family. Like it didn't feel like it was going to be enough, even though we were paying our bills. We had plenty of food. We had everything necessary and then some, but it just it was never enough. And so understanding that even if you are a millionaire, And you feel like it, you could be in lack, baby. It doesn't matter how many numbers. It is, I've said it, it is a psychology. It is a state of mind. And when I was going through my process, I couldn't break out of it because I was stuck in this system that was running when I was younger, right? And what I had to start to begin to see was that for me to gain money, for me to receive, and I'm talking about financial prosperity, I'm not talking about emotions and things of that nature, but this was the one way that I was able to break lack. When I met Dove didn't care how much money we were going to spend if it was for our, it was for our wellness, if it was for our health. Like when I needed to go to rehab or I needed help in any way that was gonna save my life, we would use the last penny. We went days without food. We couldn't pay our bills. Like I'm telling you, but what started to happen is the more I trusted and the more I gave for those reasons, right? Somebody said, if we give money in good intention, heck yeah, right? All of a sudden the universe started to show up and miracles were happening.
Yes.
And I started to trust. And once I started to see the flow that was going to take place, because as our business grows, baby, we need to put more money in it. I need to invest even more and I have to have more trust, right? You don't just all of a sudden, like your business grows, you get rich and you just hold on. No, I got to keep giving. I got to trust. I got to give even more. I got to put money into and things and time. And what started to happen was the lack mentality through this. I started to feel like even when I didn't have much, as long as the bills got paid, all of a sudden I could eat. And I was like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so connected. I know because I'm witnessing it. So here's the thing. If you've been poor your whole life and you haven't witnessed seeing any kind of prosperity, it is very hard to create prosperity. If you see families that are born into a life, you see children born into families that have a ton of money, they'll continue to create money because they're in that flow and that psychology of like, I always have, I'm always going to have, and it just keeps creating. For someone that doesn't have, right? So for me, the first thing I had to witness was not my own experience. I had to witness others' experiences. So I would listen to people that were poor and that are telling me what I'm telling you. Right? I would hear the same story over and over. I had nothing. I had to create and I had to give. And I would start to invest in what I was hearing. And I would start to take steps in those ways so that I could experience it. Once I started to experience a little bit of it, like the time I put $1,200 down, it was my last $1,200 on something that was really important for me to be okay in my life. And to know that $1,200 was given back to me because of some miracles. And to go, oh, whoa, okay, I see that. And then I experienced what I'm saying, then it began to grow, and it began to grow, and I stayed in that flow, that give, receive, and then I broke out of lack mentality. And do I go into fear sometimes? Yes. Do we get scared sometimes? Yes. Is the collective consciousness in a lot of lack mentality? Yes. Am I connected to that collective consciousness? Yes. Can I disconnect and feel my abundance from when I began to speak to you guys and telling you guys that you are naturally in a state of abundance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Nicole said some really important stuff. So allowing yourself to experience others' prosperity. You know, we spoke yesterday about really, right? So on our prayer circle, we spoke deeply about allowing ourselves to be joyful, excited, and grateful for others' experiences. So the natural human experience is, well, I'm not excited for other people's prosperity when I am suffering. But the thing is that if we can be excited about other people's prosperity and we can access and inspire, right? And be inspired by them. So here's the thing, find maybe a free conference of entrepreneurs that are doing cool things. Watch some free content videos. Because I mean, even if you're at a 0 point, like a true 0 point, although I invite even, Spirit corrected me, I invite you even if you think you're at a true 0 point to make a step. I remember being at true 0 points where I'm like, I'm gonna have to take maybe something in my house. And I don't recommend that you guys do this, but I've sold furniture and heirlooms and jewelry or anything that I had to go from a 0 point to like a next step for myself. But even if what you feel is your next step is watching a free video or going to a free conference, when you surround yourself with those that shift the mentality, you don't block yourself off. Because here's the thing, don't block yourself off by feeling resentment, ego, attack towards them. They can do it and I can't do it. There's another one. There's another thought that I'm going to present to you that you can analyze for yourself. They can do it, but I can't do it. That's their story, but not mine.
Yes.
Because you know what happens when we get on this screen? And I know what happens because I watch how we don't have kindness. I watch how all these things. What happens when we separate ourselves with a screen, which I'm grateful for because we get to have this conversation.
Yes.
But immediately you've decided, or not all of you, some of you have decided that person on the other side of the screen, they're not really real. Their life is not really possible. It's not really tangible. They don't have emotion. They're not a normal human. They don't exist and do normal stuff. They don't eat breakfast, whatever it is. We have, the technology is so much of a blessing in certain ways, and then in other ways, there's so much disconnect that happens. And so we do hide behind, this is possible for this person and not for me. This is their story, and this is not mine. And so I invite you to allow yourself to go like, okay, I honor myself that I experienced that, right? That shadow Nicole was saying, like to honor all the parts of us. Like I honor that I'm thinking that. I honor that I feel that, but I'm gonna shift a little. I'm gonna say, no, the consistency, the willingness and the desire to take action and the action step, it distinguishes you. You can move out of that space. And I remember Nicole and I doing a live event years ago, and somebody around prosperity, and somebody raised their hand and they asked to speak, and I called them up, and they said, you know, I was raised in this trailer park that my family comes from, and we all live the same way, and this is all I've ever seen in my life, and I know that there is more out there, but my frame is that.
Yes.
And I thought that it was so enlightened of her to recognize that our framework of consciousness, when it is really specific and it isn't varied, that becomes this whole piece that we need to overcome. And what happens is that a lot of times we don't want to overcome that piece, right? Assuming that that isn't the lifestyle that suits you, right? Understand that we can stay at any point that feels good for us. There isn't better or worse, whatever. It is about you feeling unlimited, right? I want you to feel unlimited. And so however you live, if it feels like your self-expression, you're right on where you need to be. If it doesn't feel like you're all in your comfort zone, then we need to give ourselves permission to move out of that. So what I felt with her, though, that was really beautiful is that she didn't say, and I'm not good enough, worthy, whatever it is, to experience other stuff. And she showed up at that event, and she, made that step, and she paid for her ticket, and it was really beautiful because as the event was going, she was having these massive breakthroughs around the fact that she let herself be in an environment where she said, this is what I come from, this is what I know, and I wanted to remove myself and put myself in the space that I would never come to and expose myself to something different so that I actually tangibly can see, feel, taste that that's a different reality. Okay. And it was really, really special. And I understand it as well. And I grew up having polar experiences. So I've experienced incredible parents who were fashion designers and had all of these amazing abilities. And then I also had points and peaks and moments in my life where it was like living in a trailer in the woods, no electric, like maybe food, maybe not food. And, having those polar opposites has led me to be able to tap into both realities.
Yes.
And to feel different things, and actually my extremes were harder for me. Nicole was able to see and move sort of at a consistent upbeat. And for me, it was like, no, wow. And I did a lot of what she was saying, which was that you just want to kind of hoard any little bit you have out of this fear. And this other lie that's coming up right now is this concept of security.
Oof.
Right? And so that stops flow. And that was a very interesting thing. We want security. Why do we want security? We want security because our inner parts want to know that we have food and shelter. Yes. That's our survival. That makes sense. Food and shelter. And this is actually relevant because think about it. You guys might go to make an investment, or you might go to make a business decision, or you might go on your own, and you get blocked and you're like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, understand there's part of you that wants to know I'm going to have food and shelter. I'm going to be safe. People are going to love me. I'm going to be warm. I'm not going to be outside. Right? This animalistic part of your brain saying like, I need to survive. I'm going to need to live. So when we say that there's a lot behind the veil, that there's a lot underneath the hood, there is a lot. There is a lot behind there in order to get you to these next places. You know, and when I get into a container with people for 6 months, and you take a small group in our inner circle, and we dissect the business, and we dissect your belief systems, and we teach pillars, and we teach understanding, it's incredible to watch you grow and feed off of each other to understand, like, whoa, there is so much in each of us that we don't realize is related to the impact of that flow and abundance and that prosperity for us.
Somebody said I'm getting worked up over you. I'm sitting here thinking, like, that's my wife, and she is like the best mentor that I've ever had. And I have access to her 24/7. I'm just like, oh my God. Oh, I am getting worked up. I'm like, whoo, she is brilliant. Oh, I'm going to blow you up right now. When she works, her translation of big concepts and ideas and just wow. I'm just like, I get in awe. I'm actually blushing too. I get in awe of the information that you bring to this planet. And I love you very much. And
I love you too.
Whew, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Now I'm embarrassed. Do
Oh,
I have red cheeks?
all right.
Yeah, I
So
do.
you got red cheeks going on. All right, you know, and it's a beautiful, exciting opportunity to have this discussion with you guys, you know, and to see all of you guys on here, and then to see you guys that I know will be watching the replay, really moving your consciousness past these pieces of limitation, and understanding that taking something on like the shift in your prosperity, right? We've been talking all weekend about our mind and manifestation intensive that's linked here in the description. So if you guys have not checked it out, I really invite you to check it out and grab it.
It's fire. It's really like, it's wow. Yeah, I take my own medicine. Sometimes Dove and I will go into creating something, and then spirit takes over in the middle of it and gives you information that you didn't have like an outline for. Yes. And so we have to go back and actually watch it ourselves to actually feel and receive the message that came through, because I can't even remember what came through. And it's so beautiful to be able to experience your own medicine. Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have to say that it's a good place for you guys to start, whether you're really advanced in your process or you're just beginning. Either way, this is really created for you guys to have that like next jolt of, and really understanding, it feels fundamental for me to understand the power of your mind, to understand the aspects of manifestation that are not talked about a whole heck of a lot. So knowing that you guys have to fill in some gaps, understanding the way these things work. And then, you know, the next step after that, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to, you know, perhaps apply for our inner circle, which is starting again early this coming year, I will put the link there too. Or you can go to our website, Twin Flame Revolution, or you can message us. But understanding that it's a process, and it's an internal behind the scenes process, and that there are building blocks, and that we have to understand the mind, and we have to understand our beliefs, and we have to understand our traumas, and we have to understand our background, our ancestry, our perspective, because all of these things play into, down to how we sabotage, down to what we're ready to receive.
Yes.
You know, receivership is a massive component to getting it, because perhaps we say, okay, so I'm ready for that. I'm going back to that $20 example, right? Because I don't want to create a story about what is or isn't a lot of money. So $20, I want to manifest $20. I'm on it, right? I'm on my process. And here's what I'm saying inside to myself. Here's my internal dialogue. I don't want to receive $20. I'm not worthy of $20. I don't want to receive it. And so we're literally putting a big blanket in front of us, and it's, the universe can't provide that. We're countering our own intentions.
Yes.
We don't feel valuable. We don't feel we can receive that level of value. So we're also subconsciously projecting out to the world like, and I know you guys are shifting because I'm getting lots of hiccups now. So this is hitting you guys. And that's what I do. If you guys are new to us, I get hiccups when energy changes and you guys are getting something. Okay. So it means that you are shifting in your body and your consciousness around this. And so we will turn our ability to receive that miracle off. Yeah. We'll turn it off. And I said again in another video over this weekend, and I can't remember which one now, but I said, you know, you have to understand that really what we want to do is focus on allowing ourselves in this moment to become the person that can receive that miracle. And by that, I mean, what is it that you need to correct inside, thought forms, behavior, ideas, whatever it is, to be able to stand in the space of that opportunity. And I've watched countless opportunities be dissolved for people because they weren't ready. I've watched amazing entrepreneurs talk about losing multi-million-dollar deals. I've met those people because they got to that point, the opportunity was presented, and they hadn't corrected internally what they 100%. Needed, and they lit the opportunity on fire. And it wasn't because it wasn't meant to be, and it was because the blocks were there. The perspective shift hadn't happened, that it was too much of an uptick and not a connection between that. And the cool thing about what I just said is that you have the control right now in this moment. No external things needs to change in order for you to start analyzing what it means and taking action for what it means for you to become the person to stand in that space. So I'm going to leave you guys with this, other than inviting you to take action to get the mind and manifestation mastery that's linked in here, other than taking action to apply to our inner circle, if that's something. This is a high level 6-month commitment, so very elite group. It's not sort of a low next step. It is a big next step, right? It's a transformative next step. I'll link that as well. And other than those steps, the steps that I want to leave you with as a homework assignment is what is the next place that I'd like to be around my prosperity? And what does that person look like? And I'm going to invite you to draw it out, write it out. Like, what does their day look like? What does it look like, smell like, feel like? What is it like? And then how does that, now write out who you are in this moment. What does it look like, smell like? What do you do in a day? What
am I wearing?
What am I wearing?
What does my house look like?
How do those people compare?
Yes.
How are they similar? Where are they not similar, right? My God baby is like screaming in the background. He agrees with everything I'm saying. I've adopted him as my God baby. Yes. Not officially. You're gonna go ahead and look at how they compare, how they don't compare, how they link up and they don't link up. And it's quite important because you get to start integrating that being right now. You get to start walking that consciousness, experiencing that peace, looking at things. And also, I'll say to you guys, a lot of people ask me, and I see it in the comments, like, if I'm in deep lack, how do I move from lack? Because if more prosperity creates prosperity, then doesn't more lack create lack, correct? So how do I break that cycle? And that was a question that I asked for so many years, I can't even tell you. And the answer is so simple. More than half of you are not going to hear it. The answer is so simple. I'm going to say it slow so that you hopefully catch it. The answer is gratitude.
Yes.
The more that you can hone into gratitude, what happens is that gratitude is actually the generated sensation of abundance. So let's say I'm sitting here and I have a beautiful bowl of fruit and I'm like, wow, that is so much of a blessing, because it is, right? I've got this living, gorgeous substance that is to serve my body, and there are people that can't even access fruit, and that I'm so lucky, and that it's gonna, heal my body, and all of these things. And I'm sitting here with this, and I'm really able to be massively grateful. What happens is my whole body experiences abundance, and that abundance, what did I just say, multiplies abundance. Yes. So actually, the way to do that is the catalyst is really that you move from lack to abundance through the gratitude, because it's the same frequency. And you go back to connection, because when you go into gratitude, what do? You go to love. Yes. You go to love. And what is love? Love is connection. And connection means abundance. It means alignment. And so all these things, right? When I do soul realignments, I look at people's records and I'm helping them understand who they are. I explain that we have two modes, right? It's either lack, which is connected to disconnection, which is connected to the energy of, will break and flow and all of those different things. Misalignment is the word I was looking for. Or we have the energy of connection, and connection goes to abundance, and it goes to love, and it goes to flow, and it goes to self-expression, and it goes to alignment, and they're all synonymous. So you have that pattern of flow, and you guys can work on that right now.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I love you guys so much. I think that there's a lot of value here. I want to say, if you guys are new, please make sure that you like and follow our page. Yes. If you are on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if vice versa, if you guys are on different platforms and you have not checked out our other platforms, or if you guys are not on our Instagram, please head over to Twin Flame on our Instagram and subscribe. Follow us there is what I mean to say. Take these steps for yourself. take it seriously. Grab the next step to what you can do with us. Take the homework seriously. Re-listen to this video. A lot of this information you want to listen to over and over again. Share it, please, so that others can hear this. And you guys are creating that change and assisting with us. We are so excited that we spent the entire weekend. We've got some more good stuff coming this week.
Yes.
This is not the end of our fun and celebration. It's not the end of any of this. So move into that space. And also, if you guys have questions about how we can support you next, send us a message in Messenger. We are available for you this week, a little extra, because we also have our certificates and different things on sale for you guys. So check these things out. Ask questions about what you can make a next step on, and give yourself a big, giant bout of gratitude
and a hug
for sitting here and creating some transformation for yourself today.
Oh, we love you guys so much.
You're already changing.
Yes.
We love you guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.